You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the
let
truth.
Your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you gonna glow.
Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex. To the show, the champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video, spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow. Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex.
2nd and let's talk. Yo, DJ, roll that beautiful champagne footage.
Confidants? What is your profession? What is your profession? Nothing but soldiers and empowerment over here.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I wish I went to the last World Cup. These prices for America are fucking insane. I wish I went to the last World Cup because these prices for America are fucking insane. For 3 games, I paid $600 for the round of 16. I paid $400 for one group stage and $300 for the other. Do the math. I could have bought so many tickets at Qatar. And another thing, stop trusting these fucking resale sites. Stop trusting this because the only way you can get a ticket is through FIFA.com. Do not buy these. These are fucking scam. They're not guaranteeing you to get the seat, and they're not guaranteeing you where you're gonna sit. Please, I'm begging y'all, do not buy these fucking seats. Do not. Because FIFA is the only one that's supposed to allow you guys to purchase these tickets. I bought my ticket.
They just dropped the ticket prices for the World Cup, and look, before I show y'all, I just want to say, if you coming from out the country, you better start saving your fucking, you better start working overtime. Look at this shit. 7 bands. 7, the most expensive ones in the U.S. That's not surprising. You come to the U.S., your ass gonna work. That's all you gonna do. Wake up, go to work, come back, go to work. Land of back pain. Not land of free, land of the back pain. You know what I'm saying, bro? You know what I'm saying? 7 bands just to get in there. The drink is gonna cost you 100. Food gonna cost you 100 per fresh fry, whatever you want to eat. You walk in that bitch with less than $100, they might whoop your ass. I'm telling you that right now. They might just beat your ass for walking in with less than $100. Just bro, I make this so y'all know what to expect when y'all come for the World Cup. Y'all see the prices, you know it. But land of the back pain. My back on 10. Work 12 hours, go to sleep, wake up, work. I'm at work right now. You think I wear this shit on the regular? I'm at work right now.
One of my dreams was to watch Lionel Messi live, in the World Cup next year. Although right now, I've not really gotten any sponsors to go to the World Cup. I'm hoping that maybe 1 or 2 sponsors will come through and, decide to take me to the World Cup next year, because it's quite expensive going to the World Cup. It's quite a lot of money. I'm seeing the prices for tickets right now, and it's scary, right? The ticket prices are quite very, very scary. So if you're planning to go to the World Cup from Nigeria, you'll be looking at spending between 20 to 30 million naira of your personal money, to put things in order for you to go there, visa, travel, hotel, everything. You're looking at 20 to 30 million naira. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that maybe one brand will look at me and say, Combo, we want to sponsor you to the World Cup. That would be nice. But FIFA, you need to look at the ticket prices, man. These ticket prices are outrageous. These prices...
Well, the World Cup is in trouble. Nobody wants to come here. Ticket sales are down. They've actually had to lower the price of the tickets because they can't give them away at this point. They thought they were going to get thousands and thousands of dollars for tickets, and they may not even be able to get $100. We personally, my family, we have heard from our friends that are either in Europe or the UK, and there's no way that they would come to the United States right now. They can see just how dangerous it is, and they're not willing to bring their children to this country. And I don't blame them. They can see for themselves what's going on. They've actually watched the videos. They can see the protests. They can see what ICE agents are doing to people. And they're not in the cult. So they don't believe this spin that comes out of the White House and Kristi Noem. I mean, it's very clear to them that they are blatantly lying about what's in these videos and what ICE is actually doing, and that they are just grabbing people off the street and asking questions later. So I knew the World Cup wasn't going to be a good idea to have in the United States, and there you have it.
This is insane. How many stadiums are just going to be empty at the World Cup? The prices have come out for the England games. The cheapest possible tickets you can get, the value category. Opening game against Croatia, $265. Games against Ghana and Panama, $220. The round of 32, $235. Round of 16, $295. Quarterfinal, $680. Semi-final, $920. And the final, if we got there, $4,185 for the cheapest possible ticket. You then look at the standard category, the sort of middle of the road, $500 for the opening game, up to $2,500 for the semi-final. It's just, normal match-going fans are just not going to be able to afford this. Like, plainly and simply, you will not have normal football fans going to these games. Especially when you factor in the cost of everything else. Hotel prices that have massively spiked in all of the cities that are hosting the World Cup for that period. You're talking hundreds, if not thousands of pounds a night for hotel rooms. I just think, dynamic pricing and all of that nonsense, it's going to ruin it. Football needs atmospheres. My only hope is that in the same way as the Club World Cup that started with insane ticket prices and then no one was going to go, so they dropped the ticket prices down to like 2 for a tenner. Hopefully that happens, but as it is, what a joke.
When I thought tickets to a Beyonce concert were expensive.
No! Hey, don't cry. Sorry. What did you find?
I looked up how much are tickets for the World Cup next year in Houston. Football?
Yes.
Seats that are like 20 seats away.
How much? Tell us.
39,000.
Is that for one ticket?
39,000 a seat.
How's down payment? Somebody's salary.
Not courtside or groundside. 20 rows back. 39,000.
Somebody will tell me, just get the cheapest one now. 1,900. Is that not a TV? They'll say you're giving broke. Money
As in, you ever heard the price that made you start to value your TV at home? And the worst part is we don't even know what team. So imagine paying 39 grand and it's probably the two worst teams. I won't mention names. I just saw another one that's 42,000. Not finals.
They're playing with their destiny.
Match 47. Who is match 47?
This has to be the biggest goddamn joke that I have ever witnessed with my two own eyes. The cheapest ticket to watch the World Cup final this year is $9,000. $9,000 for both your nostrils to be gushing blood. That is absolutely outrageous. And you know what? The World Cup final is probably still going to sell out. Let's just say each ticket was $30,000. That might be an overestimate. I don't know. I'm just going to say each ticket averaged out to about $30,000. They would be making around $2.5 billion just in ticket sales off of one game. This is absolutely insane, and people say that soccer isn't the biggest sport in the world. I mean, just look at this. $70,000 to get front row tickets. Just absurd in my eyes.
I went to go see what the Mexico South Africa tickets are looking like. Wallahi, this shit said $4,000. $4,000. 4 bands, bro. 4 bands to watch this shit. Brother, if I'm getting 4 bands, this better be my fucking seat. This better, right in the middle of the fucking pitch. This better be my view. I better be able to, like, 360, like virtual reality, that VR shit. Matter of fact, this gonna be me. This gonna be, I better be able to walk the kids out. Just like that. Walk them out. That, I'm paying 4 bands. I better get a kit. I'm walking the kids out. I'm sitting in the middle of the pitch looking at that shit. Not to keep in mind, I'm getting an autograph from every fucking player, both sides. I'm getting pictures with everybody. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking something home. I'm taking the ball home. I'm taking the fucking ball home. This shit talk about for you lost your fucking mind. You lost your fucking mind. We gonna be there though. We gonna fucking be there though. I'm gonna be homeless. I told y'all, but we gonna be there.
And sometimes you gotta be careful about who you bully. Meet Colton, a 16-year-old kid who took the FBI and police on an insane chase that lasted 3 years. But it all started because Colton had a problem. He was broke, and everyone knew it. He went to school, they said, Colton, and he said, huh? They said, you broke, and everybody knows it. He said, nah, y'all, I'm broke because my mom, she be drinking, and we don't got money. They said, you broke and everybody knows it. Suddenly a kid named Harley stands up and says, hey, y'all leave Colton alone. He may be broke, he may be poor, he may not have the same drip as us. What was I saying? I said, you was telling us to leave him alone. He said, leave him alone. Now, Colton and Harley become friends because they find out that they both have bad home lives. But Harley has nice clothes. He be having drip. Colton doesn't have that. Harley's like, I be stealing. Colton's like, oh, snap, I'm trying to steal. So they start stealing. Now, after a few months, the FBI catches him on camera. So they bust down his mom's place and say, where he at? She go, he left. He tried to pay for me to stop drinking. I said, no, he's in the forest now. So they go into the forest. They don't see him, but he sees them. He watches as they raid all of his stuff. It turns out he has a lot of stuff, so the FBI surrounds the forest. Colton writes a letter to his mom saying, girl, they're not finna catch me. They got him. Why? Well, because he was hiding out in empty houses, and where he was from, there are a lot of vacation homes. Meaning rich people would buy a house there and not be there for months. He leaves the lights on in one of these houses, but the owners reported that they weren't there, so the FBI brings him in. They said, he's a kid. A few months in juvie, then we'll send him to a corrections house. He breaks out of the corrections house, and here's where things start to get wicked. The whole town is losing it. Everyone's looking for this 16-year-old kid. Why? Because houses are getting busted and left and right. People start getting mad at the cops. They're saying, he's just a kid. Why can't y'all catch him? Vroom, 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 vroom. A car zooms past. It's Colton in a $100,000 Mercedes, basically daring police to catch him. They start chasing. The car suddenly goes kaboom into something. The police surround the car. They look into the car. No one's there. They look into the forest. Colton's there. Dips. And inside the car, they find this picture with a Mercedes logo on it. It's getting serious for police, but not Colton. He gets bored. He keeps going into houses and he keeps getting away. So then he decides to take a plane. Hops in a plane, reads the manual, and starts flying. Now, you may be asking yourself, how is this possible? Well, here's a note from a friend of mine who used to borrow cars. You won't believe how many people just leave the keys inside. Well, he learns how to do everything except land the thing. And actually, this is the wrong plane. This was the first plane he borrowed. The one I showed you was like the 6th one. Anyway, the police are like, what we finna do about Colton? An officer walks in and goes, Chief. He goes, hold on, we talking about Colton. He goes, Chief. He goes, what? He goes, I think I know where Colton is. The chief said, great, you finna get a promotion. The officer said, nah, I'm finna get a fire. Yeah, it turns out Colton went into my car, took everything, including my military grade. The chief said, are you stupid? Somebody else walks in and says, Chief, he says, what now? We just got a report. We think it's Colton. The first officer said, let's go. The chief said, not you. Everybody else, let's go. This time they had him right where they wanted him. It turns out he was in a house and the homeowners came in early. The owners chased him outside, then found a red dot on him. Remember, he has that military grade. The owners hopped in the whip and drove away. The police need to make this arrest. He's becoming kind of famous. Hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff is missing. Planes, cars. He gets away again. So the government has no choice but to call in Homeland Security and start looking for him everywhere. He catches wind of this and says, I gotta get out of here. But the government is a step ahead of him. They call everybody within thousands of miles who owns a plane and says, lock your planes now. But he finds the one person that wasn't in the meeting and hops in their plane and flies off. He's headed to Cuba where he knows they can't ship him back to the US. He makes a wrong turn though and ends up in the Bahamas. While he's in the air, he's out of gas, but luckily he sees an island and is able to maneuver his way down, and this happens. The FBI gets a distress signal about the plane and the whole island is surrounded within the day. But it's party weekend in the Bahamas. So he starts heading into bars and hanging out. They say, hey, little bro, I seen your wanted poster. He said, word? They said, damn, what you finna do? He said, hop on a boat, you feel me? He hops on a boat. He gets to the next island where they're partying. He goes, hey, yo, could somebody call the popo? They go, what you mean? He goes, yo, they're chasing me and I'm bored. He said, stop playing around, kid. Who are you? Why you got a speedboat? You look kind of young. He said, I'm telling you, I'm Robin, bro. I'm Colton. I'm on the wanted poster. They go, He said, don't even worry about it. Just call the popo. You finna see something. They call the popo. Boats start flying in. He said, time to go. Boy hits the speed, flies off, outruns them because boy got a speedboat. They got boats. He looks behind him to see how far he got, but then beaches his boat. He grabs his and puts it to his head, but decides against it. The Bahama popo said, put your hands in the air. He at them. Now you know if this was the United States, that would have been his last date. But I said the Bahama popo, so his boat, his engine, to scare him. He says, y'all got me, and he raises his hand. They bring him in. They gather up all of his charges, and it's a lot. 67 felonies to be exact. He was facing 30 years, but his lawyer gets it down to 6. The lawyer said he grew up in a tough home life, nobody got hurt, and when they eventually make movies about this, he has to give away all the movie money because in their words, crime doesn't pay. The judge says deal, so he does his time, then decides to live his life quietly and privately.
You know that saying, never give up? Well, I'm here to tell you, sometimes you should. Meet Malachi Robinson, the kid who never gave up on pretending to be a doctor. Listen closely. You see, Malachi had a problem. He wanted to be a doctor, but he didn't want to go to medical school. So he said, you know what, why don't I just go learn on the job? Go to a hospital, get a lab coat. Did LeBron go to basketball school? No, but he hooping. So he puts on a lab coat and walks into a hospital. He walking around that hospital for months, greeting people. Hello, I'm Dr. Robinson. Hello, I'm Dr. Robinson. Walking into exam rooms. Okay. But one day he walks into an exam room with a doctor examining a pregnant woman. The doctor looks at him. Malachi looks at the doctor. He says, oh, it seems like you have this one covered. The doctor says, excuse me, aren't you a child? Malachi says, thank you for the compliment, but look at this picture. Do I look like a child? The doctor said, excuse me, 911. The doctor calls the police. The police come over. They call his mom. They say, okay, look, he's 17. Mama, just get him. She says, I got him. She brings him home. He says, you know what, Mom, I'm not going to give up. She said, okay, son, focus on your studies. I like that. He said, did LeBron go to basketball school? She said, what? He said, I'm going to be right back. He leaves. He finds an investor that helps him open up a medical practice. He then finesses a doctor identification number. So now when you look him up, he's listed as a doctor. He takes photos. Let's take a second to look at his photos because it looks like he worked really hard on it. He got this one right here with the thinking pose, and boom, he also got this one with the foot out. Anyway, I digress. Here's where things start to get wicked. He gets a call from his first patient. It's an elderly woman. He says, you're elderly. I'm going to come to your house. She says, appreciate you. He goes over. He's diagnosing her, saying, I believe you have arthritis. He leaves. He comes back. This is his regular patient. Like, he comes back numerous times. One time, she gets really, really sick. So he has to call an ambulance. They pull up. He says, but leave your purse to her. She's like, okay, I'll leave my purse. She leaves the ambulance. He then takes her checkbook out of her purse and then writes himself a couple $1,000 check. On top of all that, he charges patients thousands of dollars for like regular routine visits, even though they have insurance. Now, the Department of Health catches on to him real quick. They sent him a letter saying, "Stop, child." He said, nah. He kept going. The police pull up. Now, you can't just arrest people without proof of a crime, so an undercover officer walks in and says, "Hey, medical practice me." He says, "Okay, take these pills." She says, "Okay, take these handcuffs and put them behind your back." Because at that point, he's impersonating a doctor. But it gets stranger because as they're arresting him, this is actually him being arrested out of his medical practice, he doubles down. He says, "I can't believe these allegations." The interviewer says, "So you're saying you're a doctor?" He says, "I am a doctor. Wait till we get to court. Wait." But then he decides to triple down. He said, "Never give up." He holds a press conference. He says, "I am a doctor. And these allegations are ridiculous. Wait till I go to court." He goes to court. He says, "Your Honor," the judge said, "you're facing up to 90 years. He says, "My fault, Your Honor. I was just playing around. I'm just a kid." The judge says, "You know what? I'm going to grant you bail while we get all the charges sorted out. But I understand that you are, you're really young." He says, "Appreciate you, Your Honor." He leaves. While he's out on bail, he goes to a car dealership and puts down his godmother's personal information so he could buy a $35,000 car. The car dealer looked at him, looked at the news, looked at him again, and called the police. They said, "Yeah, that dude who pretended to be a doctor, he's trying to scam his godmother now." The police said, "Put your hands behind your back." They brought him back. The judge said, Malachi said, "Your Honor, what? You said don't pretend to be a doctor. I was pretending to be a scammer." The judge said, "Ooh." And the judge miraculously still only granted him 3.5 years. And on top of that, he only serves 20 months. He gets out, he starts working for a shipping company, and he leaves his scamming ways behind. Psych, stupid, look at the time, there's still a little more time left. He scams the shipping company for $10,000. The shipping company calls the police. They bring him right back. That's why I ain't changed the picture, because he right back in the courtroom. The judge said, "I'm going to give you another 2 years and 4 months, and don't say nothing to me." He said, "That's fair." He does his time. So at the end of the day, believe in yourself and never give up. Unless you're trying to scam people, then give up.
What kind of jackleg advice is that for the people to follow? Baby, the people will scam their way through death if they could. This is that post-pandemic psychosis I keep telling y'all about. Have y'all ever seen that movie, Catch Me If You Can? I think somebody saw that movie and took all of this just a tad too seriously, because bro said you ain't gonna tell him what he can't be. He took what y'all told him as a child seriously. Y'all told that baby he can be whatever he wanted to be, and that's what he did. I don't know whether to be appalled or impressed. I just don't know. I just don't know. But I know one thing: if you're going to blame anybody, blame the judge. The judge kept allowing it to happen. So it sounds to me like the judge wanted him to see that thing through. He wanted to see how far this young man was really going to take this thing. But that's my thought process on it. Drop in the comments and let me know what you have to say. We have a full story, full show in line for you today. I did have a long day, rough day. Woke up this morning to a text from my baby cousin saying that she woke up and her baby did not. So we were at the hospital with her for the majority of the day. I have not eaten, have not had a moment to rest, praying with the family, making sure she's okay. And many of you know not too long ago, I lost my grandchild. So my grandchild actually passed away on March 12th. Well, it'll be 2 years come this March. And today is February 12th. So yeah, it was a lot. However, I was not going to pass up an opportunity to come on here and be able to do this show with you guys. So let's get ready to get into it. Please make sure you have your glasses filled to the rim. Make sure you have your charger. Wait a minute, because I did not do a proper introduction. Champagne Gang FizzFam. confidants and visitors to the Champagne City, baby. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come one, come all, come in. Are you ready for the show? Make sure you have your charger. Make sure your glass is filled to the rim. Kick your feet up on one of those Chase lounges. Say hi to a few people in the chat, baby, because we getting ready for a little sip, a little savor, and a whole lot of spill. You ready for it? You ready for it? Let's go.
Here we go again.
Enough is enough! I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! These motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! These motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane! Everybody strap in! I'm about to open the fucking window.
Grandma's ink on my forehead, cocoa butter, midnight prayer. She said, child, don't bow your spirit. They scared of how strong you wear your hair. Back of the bed, deeper the roots, deep from the soil. We are the fruit, drip of the sweat, blood in the proof. We are the story, we are the truth. Say my name like a hymn out loud. Brown skin shining, unbent, unbowed. Black out of veil, deeper the roots. How my people's living proof.
Hey. Daddy kept books on the table.
Welcome on in, welcome on in. Y'all know it's time for our positivity and affirmations. Are you ready? After the day I've had, I need to be affirmed and positive. If that's you and you with me and you need some positivity running right long through there, do me a favor and take that glass and raise it in the air. I would tell you to wave it around like you just don't care, but I don't want you to waste anything on you. I want you to enjoy the show. So just lift it high. You ready? Today we're talking about lose to win. See, winning doesn't always look like acquisition. No, sometimes it looks like subtraction. We lost the habit of explaining ourselves to people committed to misunderstanding us. We lost the appetite for rooms that tolerated us but never respected us. We lost the version of us that overextended just to feel included. That wasn't failure, that was refinement. Gold is purified by fire, not compliments. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not applause. And grown adults, baby, we shaped by what we finally decide to walk away from. We lost comfort. We lost access. We lost proximity. We lost the illusion that everyone clapping for us was clapping for our growth. Good. Because the weight we dropped made us lighter on our feet. The silence we accepted made our focus sharper. The distance we created made our standards higher. Winning required nerve to release what felt familiar, nerve to disappoint people who preferred the smaller version of who you were, nerve to choose peace over popularity. We didn't lose relationships. We lost misalignment. We didn't lose opportunity. We lost distraction. We didn't lose love. We lost attachment to what couldn't grow with us. And here's the twist. The very things that walked away were never equipped to walk into our next level anyway. So we let it go with grace. We close the door without slamming it. We elevate without announcing it. Because sometimes the cleanest win is the quiet loss that made space for it. If you believe that deep down on the inside, you feel it. You feel it. Let's toast. All right, y'all, let's get ready to get into it. Now, let me tell y'all something, because I did let you know, for those of you who tuned in from the beginning, kind of the day that I had, I'm still dealing with the loss of my baby cousin. My little cousin woke up this morning and her baby was not breathing. So I've been praying with her. My daughter's over there, and for many of you who know, about a year and a half, going on 2 years now, I lost my grandbaby. So it's just, and it was around this same time. So it's a little rough. However, I want to be here for my grandchild, for my daughter, for my little cousin. And I also wanted to make sure that I gave you guys these shows. If you hear me pause, it is because I am ordering me something to eat. Because as I've said, I have not eaten anything. So anybody know anything about the Champagne City, y'all know we do this like a little fireside chat anyway. So we ain't all formal and uppity. Don't do that. Come in, grab your seat, spark up if you need to. We not bougie. Matter of fact, pass it to the left. Puff, puff, pass. So you hear me? Let's get ready. Hold on. I'm talking to my dasher about my food, so don't do too much. Just hold on. All right. So, y'all, I want to go ahead and get into this story. So, the last time, now, y'all let me know. Can you hear me fine? Please drop a champagne glass in the chat if you can hear me just fine. If I need to turn up my volume, please put a 2 in the chat. Let's do that one first. If I sound good, give me a champagne. There you go. Thank you, Nisi. Thank you, Progressive. Is the music fine? If it's fine, give me a champagne glass. If it's too loud, give me a number 2. Just fine, champagne glass. Need to turn it down, number 2. If you can't hear it, it's just fine. Thank you, Nisi. Thank you, Progressive. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So y'all know we have been discussing this story about Miss Nancy Guthrie, who is the mother of Savannah Guthrie. And we're going to do a kind of a recap of everything that we've already discussed. But there have been some updates in this case. And I don't know about you guys, but something about this case is just making me feel like a little topsy-turvy. I don't know. Something about it just feels off. It feels, not saying from Savannah. No, now I'm not saying from her, but from the items that's coming out, the glove that we're going to get into, this footage that's come out, it all seems scripted to me. It just seems convenient that all of a sudden, here's a black glove. So you're telling me that the police in this area is so incompetent that they couldn't find a glove? Or are y'all telling me that whoever did this is playing so much in y'all face that they dropped the glove right under y'all nose and y'all didn't see who did it? Now, it's got to be one or the other. But we're going to get into it. The first one I want to get into is this video of them finding something on the roof. So apparently this was supposed to be
They are closing off the road
camera footage.
and they're making all the media leave this block. So we're not going to be able to be in front of the house anymore. They said this is for investigation reasons. She said they need room for their investigators to do what they need to do. So something is about to happen out here from an investigative standpoint.
And again, here's my concern, y'all. So you're telling me the police didn't notice any of this when they started looking into this whole case? Nothing told them to go on the roof? Nothing? No drone, no chopper in the air, nothing. Small town, big town, or whatever. We done all seen some form of a crime show with A1 detectives on it. And I'm pretty for sure the reason why the crime shows are so good is because they speak to real detectives when trying to do the show. So you're telling me that with all the crime shows that are going on right now in the world, nothing told y'all to look on the roof? Let's continue. Oh, but because before I get into it, because not only are we missing items on the roof, apparently in clear sight, but now there's door cam footage. Now, if you guys remember when we first covered this case, one of the first things that was said was the police said there was no footage from the doorbell camera because she had what? No subscription. So basically, the footage was basically rewriting over itself. And nothing was being recorded. I know this happened because we had the conversation and I asked y'all how y'all felt about Savannah being such a high profile individual, but will have her mother that open and vulnerable like that. You're a multimillionaire. Your face is everywhere and your mother is left that open. It threw me off a little bit when they said they couldn't find any footage because there was no subscription. Why? Your mom is 84. She ain't got no cane corso. She ain't got a house full of pit bulls. She ain't got no what's the I've just been looking into the dogs with the strongest bite. What is it? The Dogo Argentina. You don't have that. You know, what was the other one? Dang, I see it in my eyes. I'm a dog lover, y'all. Don't do too much. Y'all don't leave her with a wolf. You don't leave your mother with no protection. But I guess it don't matter because the FBI has been able to come in and find footage where no one else could. So, allegedly. So, let's check out this door cam footage that the police allegedly have found. So now one of the biggest things with this footage is there are some people who are saying that they feel like it's actually two different people in this footage. There are some people who are saying it's a woman. Others are saying it's a man. I want us to watch it again and I want you to drop in the comments and let me know. As you watch this video, what do you think? I'm going to tell you what the odd part to me is, though. The odd part to me is for a quote unquote, and this is why I feel like it's bearable. There you go, progressive. That's one. But that wasn't the one. It's another one. And I see it, and I can't think of the name right now. But for this to be an alleged kidnapper, they're not walking with any intention, right? There's no haste. There's nothing about this that says, I don't want to get caught. Or there's nothing about this says that I can get caught. Nothing. You're not moving with nothing. That's what makes all of this so weird. It's almost like somebody done took some AI and created all of this whole situation. Because what is really going on? Like, how slow do they really think we are? That you just gonna buy it. Just that this is the kidnapper. Right here. This the kidnapper. Kango. Thank you, Progressive. That is, put a champagne glass in the chat if you think this individual on this screen is the kidnapper. Number one, for people to be talking about, we gonna break it down from my opinion, right? Number one, for people to be talking about this is a man. If a man is trying to conceal his identity, he is not grabbing no damn bushes. No fruits, berries, and vines. At all. To try to cover up a camera? No. He's trying to look for some tape. He's trying to look for some kind of cap to cover it up with. Vines? I'm pretty for sure there's not a man that is watching my live who would want to hide a camera footage view from anyone. Yeah, I almost forgot I had food on the way. That's going to grab fruits and berries to cover up the camera for a quote unquote kidnapping. That's number one. Number two, when it comes to me, it just seems the body type just seems off. What's going on with this head? Like, what is around that neck? Let me see if we. Then this hand. Who moves their hand in this way? Like, everything is off about this. Everything. What is even that? So basically, it looks to me like this individual almost can't even straighten their hands out in the glove. See, now I gotta rewind it and see. Now, one of the first things that I noticed, hold on, let me see if I can get it. And I keep telling y'all, the eyes are the gateway to the soul. The eyes. Let me see. There we go. A lot of people are looking at the eyes on the screen and they think this is a woman. The eyebrows look naturally arched. You can definitely see prominent eyelashes, although there are a lot of men who do have long curly lashes. They definitely do. But there are a lot of people, even this one in the bottom left, above Nancy and her children's images. If you look at the eyes above the hand that's abnormally folded to wipe something off a camera, it almost looks like the profile of a female. Even if you look at the top left, it almost looks like the profile of a female, with someone doing everything that they can to try to cover this up. Even if it's not a female and it is a male, someone is going out of their way to cover up their body type, unless you're telling me that this individual walking right here has deformities and it has disabilities. They're walking like they're off balance. Not only that, but they're walking like none of this matters. Let's go to, hold on. The next thing that was found, so we've seen the door cam, we've seen the something on the roof. And again, I say, the alleged kidnapper that don't look like they trying to kidnap nothing. That's not how kidnappers operate. In real life, in the movies, nothing you've ever seen about a kidnapper have you ever seen kidnappers mosey around someone's front door like this, where anybody driving by could drive by and see you on the front door. Not only that, but all of these identifiers that you have on, the book bag, the clothes, and everything. However, I do think that is an attempt to throw off the detectives as to what the individual really looks like. The next thing that turned up, allegedly, mysteriously, out of this whole thing, is now a black glove has turned up. Now, again, this is where my eyebrow raises, because I'm feeling like one of two things are going on here. Again, number one, either the police department are so incompetent that they missed a whole glove, or number two, somebody amongst y'all dropped this glove and y'all didn't see them do it. So this person is amongst y'all the whole time and y'all don't even know it. It's got to be one or the other. Otherwise, please explain it to me. How y'all have been at this woman's house for about 9 days at this point, I believe. 9 to 10 days. And you're just now finding a black glove. Help me understand. And this is why I keep telling you, at this point, they need to call in the BAU. Find somebody BAU. Create a BAU. At this point, we need Penelope Garcia. Penelope Garcia. We need Huck from Scandal. And we need Olivia Pope. Come on now. That's the team. Because what are y'all doing? Exactly, Niecy. Not a black glove, just like the OJ case. A glove. Just out of nowhere. Oh, here's a glove. Really? Do it make sense to you when I say it out loud? But let's continue. Check this out.
Whatever you can to find something in hopes of finding something that might have been missed in the last 11 days, that's what they're doing. Even that, as thousands of tips are pouring in more than 24 hours after the release of the video and still images captured by the doorbell camera next to Nancy's front door. So all of that work. But the bottom line is here, once again, on day 11, Aaron, there is no sign of where Nancy Guthrie might be or what her fate might be, and no word on any more suspects or persons of interest that might be wanted even for just questioning. Aaron?
All right, Ed, thank you very much. It's unbelievable. It's day 11. Thank you, Ed. Out front now, the New York Post.
Okay, y'all, I am just pausing this for a brief moment to let you guys know my food is getting ready to pull up. This is going to be about a 10-minute video, so I'm going to just let you guys watch it while I go grab my food from the door, and I will be right back, all right?
Post reporter I just mentioned, who was with officials when they found the glove, Georgia Worrell. And Georgia, I really appreciate your time. So you were there. I mean, what can you tell us about the moment that officials found this glove?
I mean, it all happened so quickly, but basically a photographer who's here working for the Post and we were just in the right place at the right time, and we saw a couple of cars just freshly pulled over to the side of the road, and officers looking at just at the time what appeared to be a black object on the side of the road. And as we got closer, we thought it might be a glove, and then all of a sudden somebody appeared, one of the FBI agents with a bag, and he put the black object in the bag. It wasn't until later when I saw the high resolution photos that the photographer had taken that we did realize that it was a glove.
So, obviously, I mean, it sounds like, you know, you're coming upon them. Was this sort of just a, I mean, where were they? Where were you? Was this sort of something that had been abandoned on the side of the road, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, I mean, it had just been discarded on the side of the road. It was actually, I mean, if you were just walking past it, you would have seen it. We were about 1.4 miles south from Nancy Guthrie's house, and on Thursday, that's where officers and agents were canvassing. So we just happened to be on the road when those agents pulled over and saw that they were looking at something, and we just kept following them. So,
and you got all those high resolution pictures. So let me ask you, Georgia, because when you were able to look at those, I mean, there was obviously the object, but then when you're able to look at your pictures and compare them to the images that we have all seen in the doorbell camera footage of, you know, what appears to be a glove on that person's hand right there, did it look to you, as you compare the two, that it could be the same type of glove?
It does appear that way to me. However, I'm no glove expert, and we only have those photos. So, and the sun was kind of glaring off of the glove. So I'm really curious to see what investigators are going to be saying in the next couple of days about them. But yes, I mean, off the bat, it certainly seems that way.
All right. Well, Georgia, thank you very much for sharing what you did see today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Erin.
All right, and everyone is here with me now. So, John, you hear Georgia going through what she saw, and then you could see the images because they were able to get her and her photojournalist with her, the close, high-res images. And this is 1.4 miles, she said, from Guthrie's home. And you could see literally right along the side of the road, they got it. And it didn't look like it had been sitting there for that long. When they picked it up, it was just sitting on the top of the scrub. What does that tell you, and what are you hearing?
Well, it tells me that they found what they were looking for. Now, we don't know if this glove is connected to this crime.
Right.
But as she points out, and as we can see for ourselves, it is certainly ballpark for the image we see on that video camera as similar enough to be very promising. The point of it is, though, is if you're in the middle of an abduction and, you know, you're in a car with ski masks and gloves and who knows what else, the idea of not being stopped or discarding all of that in one place lends itself towards a scenario where you toss this one out the window here. You toss the other glove, you know, 2 miles after that. You toss the ski mask here. The ski mask is the kind of thing that an abductor might have kept so that when they get to wherever the holding place was, the victim couldn't see their face. On the other hand, it's not the kind of thing you want to get stopped with. So I like the theory of doing that grid search down the road and saying what could have been tossed from a car, because this is promising.
Right. Now, of course, we're on day 11, Wally, which I think, you know, some would say, gosh, what are we on day 11? And this is happening now. But, I mean, this case has confounded everyone. So you obviously are a hostage negotiator. So you've been in these situations, also as a homicide detective. What could investigators potentially learn from a glove? If this is the glove, we don't know if it is, but if it is, how much could you learn from it?
Oh, boy. This is such a great piece of evidence. When I say great piece of evidence, it means that we go with the fact that it is the glove until we can prove differently. But from that glove, there's so much in Quantico what the forensic team can get. For instance, they can get hair and fibers from the inside. They can get DNA. They can get cells. They can find out even the lot and block number where that material was made. It's an unbelievable piece of evidence. They may not have the perp on this one, but they will find out where that glove came
Could they
to.
even get a fingerprint from the inside?
It's kind of hard, but stranger things have happened.
So, you know, Bob Krieger, as we're looking at a side-by-side of those two images, obviously these teams, these are FBI that were picking that glove up today, but we know SWAT teams are out there nonstop. You've just retired from one in Pima County just days ago. So when we watch them, in the case of this glove, right, they're going, there's a side of the road, so it's sort of, you know, rocks and some dust. And then there's obviously the cacti and the shrub, which maybe from a distance don't look dense, but when you're in them, certainly feel that way. So knowing the area as well as you do, what do you think when you see a glove like this being picked up and a grid search now going so carefully down the road?
Well, I think it's an excellent job by the investigators to have expanded their search to be 1.5 miles away from the location and continue looking for any piece of evidence. The terrain around Tucson, even in Nancy's neighborhood where we're at now, it's rough. You know, I've worked it for 30 years, and it's easy to miss things. So, you know, if they hadn't searched that area, or they had, and it showed up, if nothing else, it's another lead to follow up on. But with the terrain, with the desert, with the brush, like you said, things can be missed, and that's, I'm sure, why investigators have continued to come back to the area and continued to go over some of the same places that they had been to in the past.
Yeah, and you know, obviously, when you think about just the vastness of the space you're looking at, on the one hand, you could say, gosh, we're 11 days in, they've just picked this up. On another, it is a needle in a haystack, and they finally found this. I mean, Casey Jordan, as a criminologist, when you see the glove that was found on the side of the road, which may or may not have anything to do with the one in the images from the doorbell camera, you got to look at the doorbell camera images. And what do you notice about the gloves in that video?
Well, they are thick on the hands, and there's a lot of speculation that the guy on the porch is wearing 2 sets of gloves. He's doubled up his gloves. And that might be challenging because if this glove did belong to the guy on the porch and he cast it out of a car window or on foot into the brush, there may not be any skin cells or DNA if he had a glove on underneath it, right? So there's a lot going on here, but I've got to say that does, just at first pass, seem to match. So this isn't, as Wally Zahn says, an incredible piece of evidence. And these neoprene gloves are relatively expensive for tradesmen. They don't just, wear them once and cast them away.
Like, this is the stressful part for me, right? It's a black glove. A black plastic glove. What else is a black plastic glove gonna match except another black plastic glove? First of all, this person definitely has on something because that glove doesn't even look normal. The bend and the fold of it doesn't even look normal. Even if you would say this person has on a winter glove, right? Winter gloves on your hand don't crease and fold like that. I can almost agree with whoever it was that is thinking this person might have on more than one glove. It might just be a black plastic glove over another, I don't know, what do you call it, those gloves, the mechanic style glove, you know what I mean? The thicker ones that are for like working on vehicles or under vehicles. It looks to me like there might be one of those style gloves underneath maybe a plastic glove. And the reason I say that is because it's almost like the hands are prosthetics. They don't move right. Something about these hands aren't moving right. So it could be possible that the plastic glove on top is constricting the hand inside the glove below, and that's why when whatever they're doing right here, the hand isn't even extending all the way out. That's not even natural motion and movement. Drop in the comments and let me know what you think.
They usually wear them until they're worn out. So the idea that it is just cast on the side of the road, in full view, I'm surprised it wasn't found before, really does kind of highlight.
And that clean? Hold on a second. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for y'all. Hold on. Look at this glove. So you're telling me, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. So y'all are telling me that a perfectly clean black glove was left on the side of the road, just perfectly clean. Again, I say, I'm going back to what I said. Argue with your mama, don't argue with me. One or two things. Either the police are so incompetent that they missed it. And I almost can't say that because this glove is too black. You don't see specks of dirt, dust, or beyond on this glove. It's too black to me. So, you telling me somebody has dropped this glove since y'all been looking at the case? And y'all have been there nonstop. So somebody did this in y'all face? And y'all don't know who? Because ain't no dust on this. A bunch of dirt. As long as y'all have been searching, as long as it's been since the FBI took over this case or start helping on this case, a glove left from her being kidnapped. What are we at, day 10, 11? It should be all tan, almost white. It's still pitch black. And you want us to believe that, and y'all wonder why I say, I feel like this entire thing is scripted. Not talking about her kidnap. Let me clarify. I'm talking about all of this mysterious evidence that is popping up out of nowhere. It don't feel mysteriously scripted to y'all. Like it's conveniently placed. Like it's so convenient that just out of nowhere we find a black glove that nobody could find. All of a sudden we find this camera footage that the police couldn't find because, again, I repeat, they said she had no subscription. But y'all found recorded footage. So you're basically saying the police here are extremely incompetent. And now we're not going to get into it today, but oh baby, yes we are. Baby, the ABC boys and girls are fighting. Yes, they are. The police and the FBI are fighting because nobody knows who's in charge and who should listen to who and who should follow who and who's the lead on who. Nothing. So they going back at it. Meanwhile, Miss Annie just in the wind. And nobody's being held accountable because y'all know, had it been me, you, or one of y'all relatives, and this would have happened, and the last person they were seen with was us, we would have been suspect number one. Suspect number one would still be answering questions to this day. Please help me understand why Annie and her husband, Tommaso, are not suspect number 1 and 2 right now. Persons of interest at the top of the list because you were the last ones to see her. Y'all dropped her off. Y'all should have been the ones to make sure she was secure in the house. So what happened? What happened? What's tea? Because y'all know what's going on. And I'm starting to get angry because I feel like they playing in all our face. I feel like they are playing in our face. And I feel like this glove was planted. I feel like the camera, alleged footage, whatever, on top of the roof was planted. And I feel like this alleged kidnap cam is fake. You argue with whoever you want to at this point. But you're not going to convince me that was the kidnapper at that door. You can't. You can't. Not moving that slow. And not deliberately. They look like they didn't know what they was looking for. And how is a kidnapper? You didn't know she had a door cam? You didn't know? Y'all, you thought of this plan that day, clearly. You didn't plan this out. You thought of this that day. My question would be, and if y'all hear me eating, y'all know I'm hungry, so don't do too much. My question would be, since they've looked and seen what this person on this video had on, have they attempted to contact any stores to see if they could get any matches from these outfits? Or have they had any stores contact them to tell them that looks like an outfit purchased at our store? Or that is a jogging suit that we carry? Or that is such and such that we carry? So that they know how to narrow it down. That would be another question that I would have.
We are guardedly hopeful that this will track back to the guy on the porch. This is an amazing find today.
You know,
Yeah,
go
go ahead,
I just
Ron.
want to say one thing. One of the things that we're so grateful at Quantico with their crime scene and their forensic unit is they have botanists that work there. And they can actually tell if there's any foliage on that glove from the area where, remember he took the
He
foliage?
grabbed the flowers to stick in front of the camera.
Right,
yeah.
and they can actually tell the difference between poison ivy and rose leaf. But they're that excellent, they're that meticulous.
Wow. So John, the context here, of course, is that 24 hours ago, there were people at the FBI who thought this was done. They had their guy, they had that this was it, 100% wrapped up, and then they didn't. Okay, so where are we now? Right? Did they have a whole lot of other people, or was it sort of okay? We got this guy, all eggs in one basket, everybody's there, and now all of a sudden you're scrambling.
So I wouldn't say that, and I say that based on my conversation.
So y'all listen. Y'all see what happened with the glove. What do y'all think about this glove? Do y'all think? Hold on, let me.
Whatever you can to find something in hopes of finding something that might have been missed in the last 11 days, that's what they're doing. Even that, as thousands of tips are pouring in more than 24 hours after the release of the video and still images captured by the doorbell camera next to Nancy's front.
For canvassing.
Had a glove on under.
And then they didn't. Okay.
Dang it! I was trying to pause it. What do y'all think about this glove? Do y'all think that this glove been here the whole time? Do you think this is somebody that's working with them, that's among them, that's really playing in their face, and they really not looking close enough? What do you think the real tea is from this perfectly onyx black glove? What do you think? You let me know. Next, and this is a question y'all know I have asked over and over and over again. I have very serious questions. TMZ has received a few notifications when it comes to this case. I've asked this question before, and I'm gonna ask it again because I'm still asking. Why is it that every time there's a major case, TMZ seems to have all the information? David case. Somebody contacted TMZ to let them know that the body found in the back of David's Tesla, in front of David's Tesla, was Celeste. Who is that somebody? Did the police talk to them yet? That's what I want to know. Because I ain't heard nobody ask that question yet. Did the police talk to TMZ source? The person who told TMZ. Did TMZ ask the source how they knew it was Celeste in the front of the Tesla? See, I be having questions. I be having questions for they questions. That's my question. But what's your question when it comes to this glove? Do it look too black to you? Drop in the comments and let me know. What is your question when it comes to TMZ and these ransom notes? You think TMZ low-key the feds? Why do y'all think TMZ gets so many inside scoops? Because once again, they are involved in a major case because they've received a few ransom notes in this case. Check this out.
It seems Nancy Guthrie is still alive. That is at least what Savannah Guthrie seems to be telegraphing in her latest Instagram post. She says she, meaning Nancy, is feeling these prayers. So she believes Nancy is still out there. And the other thing that seems clear is they have reached a dead end with whoever took her mother. She says that we believe our mom is out there. We need your help. This is Monday, and the deadline is today at 5 o'clock Tucson time. And the kidnappers made it very clear in the first ransom note, which we received, the situation is dire if they are true to their words, if they don't get that ransom money at 5 o'clock today, Tucson time. We have checked the Bitcoin address, and you can see what's deposited. As of this moment, the $6 million ransom has not been deposited. Something has happened where they are at a stalemate. Because if you remember over the weekend, Savannah said, we are ready to pay. And the money isn't there. There is some reason, obviously, as to why they haven't. And it just seems like Savannah is...
I'm going to tell you why. Another one or two reasons, right? So, from the beginning, The whole urgency of this case. I keep telling you, what the golden chapeau is on the screen. Y'all got to put on y'all thinking hats because the golden chapeau is on the screen. Now, we have said from the beginning, right, that when this woman got allegedly kidnapped, number one, why would you reach out to a network? It's not how kidnappers operate. Number one. Number two, kidnappers are going to want to stay under the radar because they're going to want their money and get out the way. The more you start communicating with the media and all of that, the bigger it gets, the less likely it is of you being able to escape and get away. We've already also discussed in this case that because now, number one, Savannah, was already a high-profile character because she was on the Today Show, which automatically made her mother's case high-profile because of her. Then you communicate with TMZ, and with the media. So you take a high-profile woman, you take her mother, you make it a high-profile case, then you communicate with the media. So you make it a high-profile, worldwide case. There was never a chance of a kidnapper getting out of this unscathed. Never. There's still no chance of the kidnapper getting out of this untouched. None. Because it's blown too far up. Kidnappers do not move and operate this way. At all. I showed you the video of them putting around the door. They definitely ain't playing around like that. And hiding a camera with leaves, bushes, and berries. They're definitely not doing that. From the beginning, this case has been all wrong. The purse left in the house. Remember, we discussed that. Wrong. For a kidnapper, they grabbing all your stuff, especially electronics. And you're not going to make sure ain't no cameras nowhere else. So you didn't know nothing. A kidnapper is not just running to kidnap without casing something. They not just running in a stranger's house without casing it out. Unless somebody else has given them the layout. Everything about this case from the beginning has been all wrong. Has been all wrong. Yes, progressive. They want $6 million in Bitcoin. Is what they're asking for. Now, here's the biggest thing that I have with the ransom request, right? Generally, now I want y'all to think of any horror picture, any taken. Anything that you've seen with a ransom in it. Hold on one second, y'all. Thank y'all so much. When have you ever seen a kidnapper? And hey, Demetrius, welcome in, love. When have you ever seen a kidnapper not get the ransom and do nothing, but just keep extending the date? When do you see that happen? It doesn't. Doesn't. Everything about this situation says sporadic, says haphazard, says unplanned. Only thing planned was whoever this is at this camera that's doing everything that they can to try to make themselves look like a kidnapper. Horribly. But let me know what you think. Let's continue.
Throwing her hands up, saying law enforcement is doing everything they possibly can, but she is begging for the help of anybody, no matter how far away, for anything that could be a clue. The kidnappers, as far as we know, have not shown proof of life. Now, we have only seen the first ransom note, not the second. The second was sent to a local Phoenix television station, but it seems that the kidnappers have not done anything concrete, although there was something really interesting in the message Savannah left over the weekend when she said, "We understand," referring to that first note. So there is something that the kidnappers said or demanded that Savannah is acknowledging. And then to me, the key word in that Instagram post over the weekend is the word celebrate. What did Savannah mean to say, "We want to celebrate with our mother"? It's an odd phrase to use in the middle of all of this. And the only thing I can think of is that word may well have been used in that second ransom note. I don't know because we haven't received the second, but the word is so out of context that I think it's reasonable to at least guess that that word was used in that second note. Now, she says, our mom has been taken and we don't know where. So she is kind of acknowledging that. And as we told you last Friday, that the way the ransom note, and we'll be a little bit descriptive now, the way the ransom note is worded, that they say we will...
I remembered something else I wanted to share with y'all. Dang it, I forgot it again. Let's continue.
bring your mother back to Tucson, meaning they're not in Tucson right now, if you believe them and take them at their word. We will bring her back to Tucson within 12 hours of the time that we receive the money. Well, if you take 12 hours and then you multiply it by 60 miles an hour, it gives you about a...
That's what it was. The medication. So another thing that keeps sticking out to me about this situation is her medication. From the beginning of this situation, it was dire to find her because of her medication that she had to have. That she couldn't, according to them, go 3 days without, right? We're on what, day 11 now? I lost track at this point. How is it that a person who can't go past 3 days without medication, you remember we talked about this on the first video covering it, how exactly are they able to make it to this point? So you're telling me one or two things. Either you don't believe she's alive any longer because she doesn't have her medication and she can't survive without it, or you're telling me that you still think she's alive because whoever took her has her medication. It can only be one or the other. One or the other. Either you think she's alive, in which case the only way she could be alive is whoever took her has her medication and not the medication that was in the house. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been concerned. Or you no longer think she's alive because she does not have her medication. That's why I'm starting to think we're seeing some kind of tone changes here. Because maybe they're coming to the realization that, yeah, maybe she's no longer here. Progressive said, or the kidnapper is a doctor or has a medical connection, pharmacist, something. If they got them kind of connections and pulled this horrible of a job off, quit. Fire yourself. Find another profession. Like, become a door-to-door candy bar salesman. You know, back in the day, sell fruit and vegetables door-to-door. Let it go. Nothing medical should you be near. If you botch this bad and you have a medical connection or you are in the medical field.
700-mile radius around Tucson. And so it's basically the western United States, if you take them at their word that they would be within the confines of that 700-mile radius. Personally, I think that there is a good chance that they are way closer. And the reason I say that is there is a connection between this kidnapper and the Tucson television market, which is a much smaller radius than 700 miles. This person who wrote it has some connection to Tucson because the first ransom note was sent to 2 local television stations there. In addition to us, the second ransom note sent to KOLD, which is one of those 2 television stations in Tucson. So whoever wrote this has some connection. Remember, if this were just somebody who saw Savannah Guthrie on TV and said, here's what we're going to do, they probably would have sent it to NBC News, where Savannah works. This is somebody connected to Tucson, and it just feels like it's somebody who either knew Nancy or knew of Nancy, that she had a famous daughter. And that's somebody in that Tucson area. So we talked about it on Friday, but it sure seems to me that if, and I want to say one other thing, that whoever wrote this is intelligent, is articulate, and I say that because the way that first ransom note is worded, it is well structured, the grammar is almost perfect, and it is somebody who is...
ChatGPT, Grok, who else could they have used? So you're telling me that you believe somebody who would botch a alleged kidnapping this bad, you're telling me that you feel like they are intelligent and intellectual? You're telling me that you don't think this individual on the video that we've been watching potentially use ChatGPT or Grok or any other or OpenAI or any of the rest of them like the rest of us do? So I'm starting to think they really think this is like somebody who's really like, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think they think this is a professional hit. Or maybe I should ask y'all, what do y'all think? Y'all think this is a professional hit? Do you think this was professional and someone is going out of their way to make it look botched, to throw the scent off themselves? Is that what you think? Or do you think this is somebody who didn't know what the hell they was doing, but just woke up one day and just decided to do something? And how close do you think this individual is to Miss Nancy Savannah? Because here's the question that you have to ask yourself in this, right? Above all the rest of the questions that you ask in this case, the question you have to ask is why Nancy? That's number one. That's the answer that has to come up somewhere. Why Nancy? Why Savannah's mom? Why Cameron's mom? Why Annie's mom? Why Tommaso's mother-in-law? Why Nancy? These are the pieces they should be trying to piece together. Do you think this has something to do with Savannah? Do you think it has something to do with Annie or Cameron or Tommaso? Or do you think this is totally isolated from them and they're all just horrible victims of somebody's sick, twisted game? Drop in the comments and let me know what you think.
Is smart. And so if there's somebody in the Tucson area who noticed that somebody over the last week has gone MIA, who is smart and articulate, I don't know, that might be a lead. But it just feels like this is somebody who lived in that Tucson area, or at least the Tucson market. And it is somebody who, if you believe this letter, is within that radius right now with Nancy of the city of Tucson, Arizona. So unfortunately, it seems, at least judging by Savannah's most recent post, that they are at some kind of a dead end because she's just now begging for everybody's help as the clock keeps ticking. It seems Nancy Guthrie is...
So that's the information we have from TMZ. Now, this is what I want you to check out, and this will be the last portion that we'll cover for tonight, and we'll definitely come back with some more because there's a lot that happened and is going on in here that I really want to cover with you guys and see, you know, what you guys think about it. I want to get into Ashley Banfield and the conspiracy surrounding her and her coverage of this. I know we covered some news. We want to get into these. Matter of fact, before we get off tonight, we're definitely going to get into the ransom notes. Matter of fact, before we go here, let's do the ransom notes. Alright, so when this first started happening, the children started coming out making pleas to the kidnapper, right? And I want us to take a look at these pleas from the children, and I want you to drop in the comments and let me know what you think about these pleas, alright?
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 80.
What do you mean we're only just... What the hell did she just say? Hold on, y'all. Let me rewind that a little bit.
Through great trials of pain and grief. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is...
Does this feel off to y'all? Oh my God, my picture is in the way. Hold on, I know y'all saying we can't see it. You in the way, move your picture. Why your picture there? You know how people do. Hold on. Let me get this out of the way so you can see everybody's body. Let's go start this retching on over. We gonna start this retching on over. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Hold on a second, because can y'all please do me a favor? Please hit the like and subscribe button for me if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps us get into the algorithm. They say that's what I should be telling y'all when I'm in a video. So if you don't mind, please hit the like and subscribe button, or just the like button, or just the subscribe button, or just sit back and watch. We're glad you're here, and we're happy to have you in the Champaign City today. Let's continue.
Our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all.
She holds fast. This, again, I say scripted. It don't sound real. It doesn't feel real. It does not feel authentic. How is it that somebody advised them of this? This is what's ticking me off. Somebody advised them to sit on this couch, looking like the damn Addams family, with pieces of paper talking about their mom, sounding stoic like they're reading to a bunch of toddlers at a daycare. Somebody advise this. And this is why I keep saying this whole thing sounds to me, it sounds really scripted. What is really going on here? But matter of fact, maybe we should be asking what's really going on in the world that we're not paying attention to because this has us so distracted. Like outside of these individuals on this couch, who has the most to gain out of this situation? Because now I'm starting to think that something else is going on here. Because they making me mad. Somebody knows what's going on here. The sister on the left of this picture looking like the female gremlin. Now, hell, somebody tell me something. The brother don't smile. He don't laugh. He don't cry. He don't get angry. He don't yell. He just sitting there. And I get it. Men, for the most part, most men are going to be less prone to be the emotional one in situations. They're going to be the ones that's probably going to cry on their own, but probably try to be strong for everybody else. But I get nothing from him. Like, it's almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I get nothing from him. The sister, Annie over here, right around the corner, Hard Knock Life over here, that's what we gonna name her. Miss Hard Knock Life over here. No emotion. Not in reading, not in talking, nothing. Aunt Nancy, our mom. Girl, what? Your mother is gone and that's all you giving the camera? All you giving the people for your mother being gone is Nancy, our mom. Goodbye. Adios, muchachos. And again, I say, I'm really trying to understand why they are not persons of interest at this point. But they say money talk, bullshit walk. What you think? Is that why you think they not persons of interest in this?
All of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human.
What does that mean? Despite having gone through trials of grief, we are all simply going to be merely human. Do you know the last time I heard words like that spoken, it was all in like superhero movies. When Hulk, you remember when he was tossing Loki around, he was like puny god, you know, all of that. Made me think of that moment. Also gave me the moment when, you remember when Captain America, when Loki was standing up over the people and he was telling them to bow, and Captain America swooped in with his little thing. It was like, last time I had a man standing over the people, we had a disagreement. Like, y'all remember that? I keep telling y'all, I'm a movie buff. This is what this gives me, like merely human. Like, why would you say that about your mother? As if somehow she thought she was more than that. Or someone else thought she was more than that. We're all merely human. Who says that? I'm just saying, Progressive. Progressive said these might be robots on the test run, allegedly. Okay. No, robots are more emotion. Yeah, because they ain't got none. None. Savannah, the only one crying and upset. Only one hurt. She leaning forward. She's leaning into the camera. See, y'all gotta learn how to read body language. That's why y'all keep getting slipped up and tripped up and all that. She's leaning into to the camera. Help, I need your help. I'm making a plea to you. I'm leaning in as close as I can to you because I want you to hear me. I want you to see me. They're sitting back, his arm folded over the other. I don't. Y'all, I'm so lost. This is giving me the hills have eyes right now. I'm stressed. Hold on a second. I got to take a sip so I can savor and spill. Give me a minute. Yeah, I don't like it. But let's continue.
Just normal human people who need our mom. Mama. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart.
She always seemed like she trying to force herself to cry to me. Like every time Annie talk, like she trying to force herself to cry. That's why I just said Niecy is giving the hills have eyes, deliverance or something. Something is really wrong here. And I feel like Savannah's paying for it. You know what I mean? I feel like Savannah's paying for it. But I don't know. Because it's all weird. I haven't uncovered the why yet. And maybe that's because they haven't narrowed down a suspect.
And our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, our mom is our heart. Mama. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
So y'all let me know what y'all think. That was the first one. Then they came back out and said they will pay. Check this out.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, another thing that I want you to notice about this one as well, again, you see Savannah leaning forward. You see it? Everyone else leaning back. The brother is leaning in because his hand is supporting his sister, not necessarily leaning forward. Why I always want to call this child Nancy. Savannah is always leaning into the camera to tell them, like, hey, listen, I need you to see me and hear what I got to say. Look, this between me and you. Come close and let's have a conversation. I need you to see me. See these tears? She's always leaning in, putting herself out there. The other two are always back. Not saying that either one of them are involved. However, if this is your mother, shouldn't all of you have the same intensity? But isn't this usually how family dynamics go? And generally that's the problem, because you'll generally have one that's all in and you have one that's kinda and one that don't care at all. This ain't too shocking to some of us. We see this in our own families. Next one I want you to see, because Cameron actually came out and said that he wanted a proof of life. Check this out.
This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want to hear from you. We haven't heard anything directly. We need you to reach out, and we need a way to communicate with you so we can move forward. But first, we have to know that you have our mom. We want to talk to you, and we are waiting for contact. This is Cameron Guthrie. I'm speaking for the Guthrie family. Whoever is out there holding our mother, we want.
Now, here's the thing. Again, I say, when it comes to men,
hear from you.
I do understand that for the most part, a lot of men are not going to do a lot of crying out in public. No matter who it is, wife, girlfriend, mama, none of that. They might do a lot of crying behind the scenes, but in front of people they don't know and strangers, it generally might not happen. However, we do see him in this situation right here coming out and making a video and saying, hey, we want to talk to you. We want proof of life. What you say that's what you want, you got it. But let us know that our mom is still alive. You see this video even though you don't see emotion. Drop in the comments and let me know what you feel about this no emotion.
We start with breaking news. The FBI has just confirmed that they're going door to door in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. Good evening. I'm Kadiba Devine.
And I'm Mark Curtis. Authorities moved into the neighborhood almost immediately after we learned that a second message regarding Nancy's disappearance was sent to a local TV station in Tucson.
Let's begin our team coverage with 12 News journalist Maria Stobbs, who is live outside of Nancy's house right now.
And Maria, what are you seeing there?
Well, Mark Karibe, the scene is still very active with the road to Nancy Guthrie's home still blocked off. It started about an hour and a half ago when Pima County Sheriff's deputies blocked off the road to make room for the FBI to get in. And at the time, media outlets were inside, but they made them all evacuate so that way the FBI could come in and, like we were saying, talk to neighbors, continue to search properties, and also search Nancy's home. Now, I want to show you some aerial footage that we took earlier this afternoon. About within the past hour, you can see several FBI units and Pima County Sheriff's vehicles outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. The FBI also confirmed again they're out in the neighborhood searching properties, talking to neighbors to see if anyone has any information. They say this is a routine part of a process like this, but this does also come shortly after reports did come in of that second note being sent to a Tucson station, which the FBI says they are still investigating, so we're still working to learn more what that connection is and if it is a legitimate note.
Maria, do we know if this response that we're seeing is something that's tied to the note, or is it just normal follow-up by the FBI when it comes to a situation like this?
So the FBI has said this is a routine part of a process like this, going door to door, talking to neighbors again, searching the properties of neighbors and of Nancy Guthrie's home again. So they say this is a routine process, but again, this did come just about a half hour after we learned of reports of that second note. So there very well could be a connection that we're still working to learn about.
All right, Maria Stobbs there outside of Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson. We want to continue our coverage now by heading over to Tram Mai. She is live outside of Nancy Guthrie's daughter's home, that is Annie Guthrie. And Tram, what is the latest there?
Yeah, you know, it is interesting to piggyback off of Maria and what she was saying, that the timing of that message that was sent to that local TV station, and then shortly afterwards, the fact that authorities and law enforcement moved in to that neighborhood, it does seem a little coincidental. But again, as I was reading from the Pima County Sheriff's Office, they put out a statement that said that detectives continue to conduct a follow-up at the home and in the surrounding neighborhood. But back out here, this is just about 10 minutes away from where Maria is at Nancy Guthrie's home. This is the home of Annie Guthrie. That is Savannah's sister and daughter of Nancy. This vehicle that you see right here, this is actually security. They have had security pretty much 24/7 from the day that this incident of this alleged kidnapping took place on Sunday. We do know that right now it is pretty quiet. It has been pretty quiet for the past couple of days, but also we were told that this home is actually where the Guthrie family, so the siblings, Annie, Cameron, and Savannah, they made their public plea not once, but twice. Not a lot of information has come out of the Pima County Sheriff's Office. Again, they are intensely scrutinizing every lead and every tip that they are getting. But we can tell you that there is still no suspect or person of interest in this case. So here's where we stand as of now. Again, the blood on the porch tested positive, belonging to Nancy Guthrie at her home. We know that a ransom note was sent to several news outlets, and we want to stress that that ransom note still has not been determined yet if it is legitimate. According to one of the TV stations that got that note, the station says it made a specific demand for several $1 million in Bitcoin by Thursday at 5 p.m. and threatened to kill her if payment was not received by Monday. Now, we have not been told anything about a time frame for Monday's deadline. We know that yesterday, Nancy's son Cameron, he made a plea on social media shortly after 5 p.m., saying that the family wants to talk and is waiting for contact from whoever has their mother. Cameron's message was made a day after his sisters Savannah and Annie, along with Cameron, made their first public plea on Wednesday, asking for the safe return of their mother. Also yesterday, our sister station in Tucson interviewed Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos. He said he is still confident that they will find Nancy.
I have all the faith in the world in my team. They're a great team. You've seen their work themselves. A homicide out in the middle of nowhere, and in 24 hours they've arrested 2 or 3 people. I mean, time and time again, they prove I have to have faith in that. And I know people say, well, what proof do you have she's alive? And I said, what proof do you have that she's not? She's here. We're going to find her.
And of course, many people have faith that she will hopefully be found safe and alive. Again, here at Annie Guthrie's home, it is very quiet, very unlike what is happening over at Nancy Guthrie's home. I can tell you that perhaps there's less than a dozen vehicles. When we were at Nancy's home earlier this afternoon, there were probably at least 3 dozen news vehicles, network news, local news, and from the surrounding areas. So again, very quiet here. Aside from the security, there's not a whole lot going on. The FBI is still asking for any tips. If you know anything at all, you are urged to contact 911, the Pima County Sheriff's Office, or the FBI. You can call them at 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's going to do it for us here in Tucson. I'm Tram Mai. Mark and Caribe, back to you.
All right, Tram, thank you. Did you have something for Tram?
No.
No. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tram.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of information. Everyone is in the dark, understandably, because they want to. I'm sure authorities want to keep this close to the vest.
We start with breaking news. The FBI has just confirmed that they're going.
We have these ransom notes and all of this extra stuff that's popping up in the situation, and randomly, again, I say, out of the blue, here comes a black glove that is completely black. According to the pictures, don't appear to have any dirt, dust, or beyond on it. And here comes a video footage from apparently her ring cam out the blue, right? So drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole situation. Do you think this is a professional job that someone is trying to make look amateur? Do you think this is a amateur job and it's just somebody playing around and she really is safe? Do you think they need to just stop BSing and look closer to home because they should already know who the problem is? Potentially the ones that they refuse to mark as people of interest. What do you think should happen in this situation? Drop in the comments and let me know. We're going to continue this. I guess it'll be a part 3 of the whole Nancy saga. I don't know what I'm going to name this yet, but there will be a playlist for it so that you can find all of the videos that have to do with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, with Savannah. I'm going to be doing some other deep dives because I think I did hear some stuff about the grandfather, and I do know there was some potential talks about Savannah's husband's name being mentioned in the Epstein files, because you know, of course, right now all roads lead to Epstein somehow. So we're gonna get into it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can join us for whichever sector we jump into, whichever channel we jump on, to have a show, to have a discussion, to have a premiere, whatever we are doing. Come join us and come be a part of a community that's all about positivity. It's all about growth, all about elevating and making a few connections, friends, and family while we do it. Yeah? You feel it? Thank you for joining me tonight. Champagne Gang, FizzFam, confidants, and visitors. Always remember, if it doesn't cause you to press pause. Please make sure if you ain't, you got a couple dollars, $1 or $2 that you can send to a girl for this good show and all of these wonderful graphics. You can hit the Cash App if you want to remain anonymous. I won't tell if you don't. You can hit a super chat, to just say, girl, you doing your big one. I love the graphics. And I love to see a girl who's a one-woman show making it happen and giving us this good information because you your own research and research assistant. Hit the Cash App for the one time, please. Please. Or the super chat or super thanks. Or baby, thank you for just being a part. Your like, your share, your view, your just being here makes it all worth it. Always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. Ta-ta.
Is it the black or the berry? The sweeter the juice. Is it the black or the berry? The sweeter the truth. Yeah. Grandma's ring on my forehead, cocoa butter, midnight prayer. She said, child, don't bow your spirit. They scared of how strong you wear your hair. Back of the bed, deep of the roots, deep from the soil. We are the fruit, drip of the sweat, blood in the proof. We are the story, we are the truth. Say my name like a hymn out loud. Brown skin shining, unbent, unbowed. Black of the very, deep of the roots. How my people's living proof.
On the table, names they try to burn and hide. Read this, feel it in your fingers, every little part your pride.
Cotton fields in his whisper, gold crowns in my grin. They try to lock us out of heaven. We build our heaven from within. Black of the berry,
deep of the roots.
We from the soil,
we are the fruit.
Drip of the sweat,
blood in the proof.
We are the story,
we are the truth.
Say my name like a hymn alive.
Brown skin shining, unbaked, unbowed.
Black of the berry,